Pulp Fiction is Tarantino's second film after Reservoir Dogs, which I have reviewed on my channel already. And I'm reviewing this now because I want to review every single Quentin Tarantino movie now, because I have seen every single movie he's made. Well, that he's directed. I haven't seen like the stuff, everything that he has written. But in terms of like the films from him, I've seen all of them at this point, and I would like to talk about them. And I'm going to review one of his movies each month because I think that it'll keep it nice and gives me enough time to process it and to keep these videos spread out so I have something new to talk about each month. So, Pulp Fiction. This is probably... I would say this is one of my favorite movies ever. I think that is fantastic from beginning to end. There's not a scene in this movie that I don't like, and if you want to talk about the plot of this movie, it's going to be very, very difficult because throughout the film is told out of order, much like Tarantino decided to do in Reservoir Dogs. But in this movie, it's jumping around all over the place, and there's different storylines going on. And there are scenes in this movie like that pretty much have almost no plot whatsoever, but they're great. For example, there's a point where John Travolta's character is basically he's buying heroin, I believe, and he's pretty much taking care of his boss's wife, and played by Uma Thurman, and all they're doing is just all he's doing is just making sure she's happy with what she does, and that's pretty much what's going on. And there really isn't a plot during that whole thing, but it's great because Tarantino knows how to write great dialogue and really interesting and fun characters. And there's a lot to dissect from this movie. You can get more out of it from repeated viewings, which is also something I love about this film. And this movie has gotten better for me over time, even though I loved it on my first viewing. The acting from literally everyone is great. I already mentioned John Travolta. He's great. You got Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, she might be my favorite character in the whole movie, but I don't know. You got a lot of characters to choose from. Without spoiling anything, I love how, even though the movie is told out of order, if you were to told the story in order, I love how, basically, in theory, the movie switches to a completely different character halfway through. And I really love that, and Bruce Willis becomes the main character, and this was a point in time when Bruce Willis was a great actor. And this is one of his best performances, and he's great in this movie, and what he actually has to do is great and really funny. I keep wanting to repeat myself. There's not a scene in this movie which I think is weak. Tarantino shows up in this movie, and he's pretty funny. I'm struggling to find things that would be new to say, but really everything that has been said about this movie has been said already. This movie has great characters, great dialogue, it has a great energy to it, the music is great. I can't think of like a single weak element of this movie, honestly. The opening scene of this movie used to be the worst part of it for me. I thought it was always very weak. But now I love it. I think it's a strong beginning. Even though it's still my least favorite part of the movie, I still love it. Check this movie out if you haven't already. I know I probably didn't I may or may not have sold you on how great this movie is to me, but I'm also trying to keep this a spoiler-free review. But that's a little challenging. It's way easier to talk about what I love about this movie in depth, but I can't do that. Sorry. I'm going to rate this movie now. It used to be pretty close to a 10, a 9, but now I'm going to give Pulp Fiction a 10 out of 10. I believe this applies to any Tarantino movie. They're all better experienced if you watch them with somebody, and I think that might enhance your experience. And that's how I feel about Pulp Fiction. Lots of stuff to take away from it. Even the scenes that don't really have much point to them, like Christopher Walken's scene, like his scene, to some extent, it's kind of pointless. You could take it out, but it does have a purpose, and it's also kind of funny. And that's why I love it, and I don't mind it. 10 out of 10, love it. Go check it out. Masterpiece, love it. It's not for everyone. It may or may not be your favorite Tarantino movie because his films are very divisive amongst his fans. I think if each of his movies are kind of unique and different. So there's Pulp Fiction. And so next month, since I already did Reservoir Dogs, and I just did Pulp Fiction, next month is going to be Jackie Brown. I've only seen this movie once, and I'm curious to see it again. And also one other thing that you should know, I did not yet go through the special features on the Blu-ray of either Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction. So I'm going to have to do that because I'm curious to look through all the special features. Yeah, this is also a new Blu-ray that I picked up. So that'll be for December, Jackie Brown. And then January will be Kill Bill 1 and 2. I consider Kill Bill 1 and 2 as the same movie. They might upgrade to a Blu-ray by that time. February will be Death Proof. And I don't have the Blu-ray for Death Proof, unfortunately. They're like impossible to find. Or I'm having a hard time finding them. I haven't seen Grindhouse yet. And that's like the shorter version of the theatrical cut of the movie. I saw the extended cut. And I'll be talking about that then. And after that, March. Is that March? Yeah, March. Inglourious Bastards. Then April will be Django Unchained. And then May will be The Hateful Eight. And I already reviewed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on my channel. And I feel a little bit different on it. I think it's like... I'm pretty sure like before I changed my rating system to out of 10. It used to be like letter grades. I gave it an A, basically. Actually, yeah, I think that's pretty much close enough. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm not going to re-review it unless I feel completely different about it. And in June of 2021, after I finish doing Hateful Eight, I will rank all of Tarantino's movies. So that's going to be fun. And you guys are probably going to disagree with me. Because I feel very different about some of his films that many of you will disagree with me on. But I'm being honest about how I feel, so in the end, it doesn't matter. So I look forward to Jackie Brown next month. Might be earlier in the month, so basically a couple weeks from now. But look forward to that, and my social media links, they'll be in the description down below, so follow me there. And don't forget to subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up. And until I do that, thank you for watching, and have a great day.